Shooting rainbows through the night.
And hello, everybody. Welcome to the Edge Television Broadcast. My name is Daniel Lott. Tonight, we're going to have back with us L.A. Marzulli, author, lecturer, and researcher on the program tonight. We're going to be talking about the miracle of the sun that happened back in Fatima in 1917. But my friends, is that still happening? I think there is conclusive proof one way or the other. Welcome everybody to the Edge Television Broadcast. If you want to interface with this program tonight, you can click on the Fast Blast link on the left side of the website, or you can also join them in the live chat going on now. You can put your questions in there. This program will begin to replay directly after the program. We'll put it up on our YouTube channel. We'll also put it into our TuneIn radio playlist, and we'll podcast this beautiful interview about ready to take place in the podcast software. Everybody, thank you so much. Next week, we're going to have with us Russ Dizdar back on the show. We're going to be talking about, well, of course, it's the Black Awakening, but man, I tell you what, I think we might have had a Black Awakening today, something about anti-freak or something. I will talk about that maybe in Ranting Points, but we'll have Russ Dizdar on. Then we're going to follow that up with Jonathan Gray, talking about ancient archaeology, one of our favorite subjects here on the Edge broadcast. We're also going to, right after that, we'll have John Kachuba, who's going to be talking about shapeshifters, and that's going to be a whole lot of fun. My friends, shape-shifting is going on, okay? There's a lot of shape-shifting going on, okay? And we're going to put a stop to it, okay? We're going to put a stop to those shenanigans right here on the Edge Television broadcast. We've had it. We're damn tired of shapeshifters messing with everybody, getting in our face, getting up in our grill. Cowboys don't like no damn shapeshifter. We're going to rope them doggies and going to drag them off a cliff, throw them down in the sewer somewhere. So there you go. Don't forget, in a few minutes, we'll go into our ranting points, which is an exclusive Edge part of the program we just talk about today's events, those things that bother the old cowboy. If you happen to be in the live chat, of course, you get your name impregnated out into the internet stratosphere. For those of you that are wondering, maybe new to the program, what the hell is this cowboy doing with the cattle? Well, I'm a cowboy, okay? One day, I was out in your range, okay? I'm riding. Here I go. Boop, 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 boop. I'm just riding, okay? I'm riding a horse. I call my horse Susie Cute. Well, we ride him. Anyway, so we come on into the stable. I said, hey, I'm going to have to make me a program, okay? It gets lonely out there. It gets real lonely. Really lonely out in the range, and them cows, they look mighty pretty with the big eyelashes. You ever? Daniel, where are you going with that one? I don't know. I thought I turned into a Muslim for a second. Oh, man. It's going to be a good show for you tonight. We're going to blow this thing up here in Randy Place. If we haven't had a guest on the program you'd like to see, drop me a line at edgeam@yahoo.com. Why don't you? Why don't you mosey on over that link and then send us a link to a topic or a guest you'd like to hear interview? Because, you know, the Edge has its own style, okay? Now, we the progenitors of internet style, okay? We all about it, okay? And I don't even know what the hell that means, but I think we're all about it. So, you know, there you go. Oh, man. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time next week, too. Russ Dizdar and Jonathan Gray, John Kachuba coming on the program. A lot of great guests coming back on the show. A lot of times, we'll put the ranting points in my Facebook feed. I don't really put them out on YouTube. So if you want to see them, they'll be in a lot of times in my Facebook. So you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all the other damn media programs that are out there. You know, all the ones that are spying on you. We're there, okay? Look, I'm tired of fighting these bastards, okay? Look, you know they spying on you. They know, they be watching you at night. You know when you pull the covers down, whatever's going on there, they pulling that down. I mean, they're looking, okay? You know they're all. I don't know how many. They're feeding over to the Russians. You know they're looking. Bunch of pervs over there. Speaking of pervs, I think we got. I think one might appear in our ranting points. I may have to have a disclaimer though on part of that. So why don't we just mosey on over here to ranting points and see what it is we're going to be talking about here today. And welcome to the Ranting Points part of the Edge Television broadcast. Bo Bird Dog, you a bastard, okay? You got people, you got 6 of our guys. Oh man, look here. Military justice. What happened to that? Do you guys know that in 1776, George Washington had ordered several people to be killed because they were traitors, because they ran from the unit? Did you know that? It's in there. Okay. Here we are today. Now, if you're a traitor, if you get up, if you leave your post, then the liberals come in, they're going to pat you on the back and say, good job. Okay. Now, so we got a whole army now. They're full of a bunch of bird dogs and Chelsea Mannies, man. It's a damn freak show in the military anymore. Grow some balls, man. What's the matter with you people? How are we supposed to win a war if you guys can't prosecute these traitors leaving the post and leaving people? 6 of our guys. The military judge says, he suffered enough under the Taliban. Oh, the Taliban. What are they doing over there? I don't even know what Taliban is. What's band of bastards? I don't even like them. Okay, wearing towels on their heads. What's going on there? Nobody knows what's going on underneath that hat. And that's not even a hat, okay? But maybe Frederica Wilson, Fred Freaka, maybe she needs one of them Taliban hats too. That's one of the colors she ain't got. But anyway, so he leaves his post, man. 6 of our guys got killed. Oh, but he suffered, okay? Well, I can tell you there's 6 families here in America that still suffering the loss of their boys because they went out and tried to get this traitor, and then old Obama got to trade a bunch of killers and thugs over to that damn Taliban over there. He sent him right back there so he could kill our guys again. What is it with Obama? Why is he always wanting our guys to be killed? I don't get that. Bird dog, you bastard, get out of here. I'm sick of you, okay? I'm sick of you, and any money you ever make, you ought to give to the families of the ones that died for you. You filthy piece of... Oh, boy, don't even make... Uh-oh. I got to have a warning right here. We got a guy named George H.W. Well, listen, man, you never really know what that stands for. That stands for George Handwhack. But Bush, but he's a molester, okay? This boy, and I got a disclaimer here. He's going to come up. Let's take a look at this guy. Okay, now, get ready now. You might want to close your eyes, people, because what I'm going to show you is too terrible. That's too horrible for you even to say, but I'm going to have to do it because you got to understand the gravity and the reality of the situation with this guy, George Handwhack Bush. Let's take a look. There he is. What a nasty piece of work this guy is. Look at those teeth there. What's he been gnawing on? He's a freaking freak show right there in a wheelchair, man. Who is this freak? But he writing a book with his boy George. He wrote a book with him, okay? He can't stand the Trumpster, okay? He don't like the Trump. No, man. Well, look at this guy, okay? What's he all about, man? Who knows what he's doing in that wheelchair with all that women. No, but he does. No, see, he calls Trump in his new book. He calls Trump I know you can't stand it. Get that picture off there. Look at them teeth. Get that thing out of here, okay? Get that nasty piece of work on my face, okay? But he say Trump's a blowhard, okay? And in the book that he wrote with his boy, he says, I can't stand a man so much, I voted for Hillary. Well, of course you voted for Hillary. Both of you guys, all the Bushes vote for Hillary because you're Democrats, man. You're liberal retards. Look at that face. You guys want to see that again? Listen, man, Halloween's over. Why is he still wearing this ugly looking mask? Ooh, man, what is that? Teeth, man, looking like it's from that movie It, okay? The clown teeth. Look at that thing, man. It's all rotten and all smelly looking, teeth dripping with spit and all kinds of drool. That man got a drool cup right beside. Look at that nasty piece of work. Get him on my face, okay? I don't want no more publicity for him, okay? No, but he called Trump a blowhard. Well, wait a minute now. Speaking of blowhards, let's just go back to 1989 in case y'all forgot. Homosexual prostitution inquiry ensnares VPs with Reagan and Bush. George Handwhack Bush. Oh boy, you got the cowboys going to take a midnight tours at the White House talking about blowhards, Bush. What are you doing with them gnarly teeth, man? Okay, you committing a genital mutilation with those teeth, ain't you, boy? Yeah, that's what you doing. Oh yeah, we know who the blowhard is, freak. Get up to my face. No more with that, dude. But we got Donna Brazier, okay? Donna Brazier, she come out of the woodwork, okay? She wrote a book. She done exposed crooked Hillary's rigged nomination of the day and say she took it over, okay? Now listen, Donna Brazier, why didn't you say that earlier, okay? Why didn't you tell the truth earlier? No, you gotta write a book. Donna Brazier, she's gotta write a book. She ain't wearing no Brazier, so she writes a book, okay? So there you go. She's gonna say how Hillary, how many investigations are there going? How many things? Listen, man. Hillary right now, she's involved with the scandal of taking over the DNC. She bought the thing out and cheated. You know how it is with the Democrats. They're always accusing, what they're accusing somebody else of doing is what they just did. They're accusing Trump of stealing an election. Well, Hillary stole it from Bernie. I would have voted for Bernie. Bernie. Man, I could use free education. That man's going to give me all kinds of stuff. He's going to give me a new horse, all kinds of stuff for free. I'm a social. I'll be social with Bernie. But no, Hillary stole it. She's involved with that. It's a scandal with the uranium one where she's getting millions of dollars from the Russians. And then she gave our nuclear stockpile over to the Russians. Talk about Russian collusion. Then she's the one paying for the Russian dossier. How much intertwining with the Russians we got to have? When they going to investigate this witch? Okay, Donna Brazier's trying to let everybody know Hillary's as crooked as Donald Trump says. It's the Clinton campaign collusion. That's what it is. But today is November 4th, okay? Today is the day of Antifa. Can you hear me now? Do you love the Antifa? Them boys right there running around in ski masks. Oh yeah, Indianapolis, we had a gigantic Antifa day of rage. There 3 people showed up because they couldn't find their gerbils, man. They couldn't find them, so they showed up at a meeting. An Antifa, I call it the Antifa Day of Fail, okay? Because they didn't do nothing. They couldn't find their gerbils, all 3 of them. You know, they looking for them. Where are the gerbils? You know, they try to do some kind of unspecified sex act with the thing. I don't know what's going on with them. Don't want to know what you doing with them. But anyway, it's an Antifa Day of Fail. You guys are a worthless piece of crap. Take that mask down because you're so hideously ugly. Why are you wearing it? And now back to the show. And that was Randy Points on the Edge, a television broadcast. That one there just may make my Facebook feed. All right, everybody in the live chat, here we go. Doug White, you're in the live chat. Welcome to the program. And by the way, if you just joined the program, you can join him in the live chat. It's a link on the left side of the website. You can send questions in there. You can also click on the Fast Blast link on the left side of the website as well. Neither one of them should interfere with your video feed. Rose Cordius, appreciate you in the live chat. There's James West in the live chat as well. Appreciate you. Steve Shabani, did I get that right? Welcome to the program. Jade, our esteemed moderator. Jade is the moderator. Don't cross her. Okay, that's like crossing Antifa, man. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. I'm real scared. Flatfoot, welcome to the program. Tony in Louisiana is in the live chat as well. Jerry Kraft, welcome back to the program. And Old Hillbilly's with us. And MR2, you too. Appreciate you being in the live chat too there. There is Elise back in the live chat with us. Welcome back. Magoober is with us. We're going to appreciate you big time here at the Edge Television Broadcast. And so we're going to appreciate Billy Strasser. Welcome back to the show. And Cleet's in the live chat as well. I may call out names as they join in later in the program as they pop up. Tonight, our good friend L.A. Marzulli will be back with us talking about Miracle of the Sun, starting perhaps in 1917, but has it continued and in fact is a miracle. There is some celestial issues at hand, and we shall dig deep here on the broadcast to determine what all that is about. Tony in Louisiana says, thank you very much, thank you very much. That's my king, baby. Oh man, I can't believe it, baby. Oh boy, the cowboy does king, man. Well, I might have a show like that. Do a little king, man. All right. I got a show. Is this a show? I never really did say this show was for real, okay? I mean, look, you guys got a lot of options out there, but there's only one cosmic cowboy on the internet as far as I can tell. If there's a copycat out, he's a freak. Hey, don't cross me, people. I'll put George W. Handwhack Bush, whatever the HW stands for. I'll put that picture back up, okay? If y'all cross me, I'll put it back up. Don't think I won't do it. Man, that dude's teeth, man, looks like it. You know, that clown. Don't his teeth look like that? What's that boy been doing? What's he been gnawing on, man? I don't know. Well, let's go over here to our program, see if we can ring up L.A. Marzulli right now. Okay, I see it ringing here. Uh-oh. Hope we got
the person whom you're trying to reach is currently...
Okay, that's not good. That's not good. That could be very bad right there. Let me try it again. L.A. Marzulli. Hope we got our time zones correct here. But I may have to do a whole hour of Randy points. Don't make me do it. Uh-oh, it's ringing again. Uh-oh, this is a long ring. This is a long ring going on here. Of course, now I could have freaked him out, though, because... uh-oh. I could have freaked him out because he's a Facebook friend, and if you've seen how I explained what's going to be on the show tonight, he may have opted out. Look, I don't hold anybody responsible for not showing up on the edge, okay? Because they no telling what they're going to get. Alrighty. Well, what are we going to do here? We're going to have to just read the day's news topic. I can do that for an hour. Heck, that's what I was doing anyway in Randy Points. All right, let me go back here. Hang on. Where is he? Where is Mr. Marzulli? Okay, y'all go have some cookies and milk and stuff. Y'all do that here, or maybe sing some songs or whatever. Light a fire, sing some songs, and then I'll try to find L.A. Marzulli here. I really wasn't quite done with Randy Points either. So hey, if I can leave that as a show. If that's what I have to do, I'll leave that as the entire show. All right, here we go. Let me dial him again. Don't see him on the line here. Well, that's one of the worst things ever.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
All right, show's over. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to the Edge Television broadcast. It's been great to be with you tonight. We appreciate you logging in. All the great questions that come in. We appreciate you too as well. The questions that came in. Let's just go on over here and let's go with this here right here. We have some options here. Well, that option ain't working. Okay, I guess I guess we don't have any more options, man. Alrighty. Oh, here we go. And now for a brief interlude. That's a math hour, I think is what that's called there. If you want to sing, go ahead. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait for L.A. Marzulli to log on to the program here. I'm looking at his Skype, waiting until he appears. But I got a backup plan. Cowboy never starts a show without a backup plan. I'm not really sure what the backup plan is. I guess I'll just sit here. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Live chat or fast blast. Anybody got questions for the Cosmic Cowboy? We'll take them right now. I can understand. I'm sensing the question. Daniel Ott, why do you do a show? Why won't you get the hell off the internet? And that's a crazy question. Who asked that question? Which one of you? It was you right there, wasn't it? Did you ask that question? Well, we're going to have to ask Joel Osteen about it. Hi, I watch the Edge Television broadcast. Is that gay? Is that guy gay? I'm not saying not gay. I'm just asking, okay? I know he got shit eating grim. I'm just asking, okay? It's all right. It's 2017. I do have a day job. Yes, it's a good question right there. I'm not sure what it is, and I'm not sure what they pay me for. Yep. MR2 is talking about the anti-fall riot. Well, there was a riot, all right, because these clowns, they so ugly they got to wear a mask. That's really what it is. It's not that they don't want to be seen. They just too damn ugly because they're Democrats. Y'all seen the Democrats? Okay, y'all know what they look like, don't you? Man, don't make me bring George back up. Okay. Steve, you're asking about whether or not Colonel SC coming back in the program. I have tried and tried and tried. I don't know what happened to the boy. I think he went to a deep underground military base where he is hiding out to this day. And so I believe he's down there. So we're going to leave him down there. I don't really know where he is. Hey, don't cross me. I do have a backup. I do have a backup plan. It's people that want to come on the show all the time. Let me see if I got him in my link here, but I'll get to that here in a second. I'm going to give L.A. Marzulli a chance there. He probably got a time zone issue. So we'll go with that. Any other questions here before we sign up? Anyway, thank you everyone for logging into the program. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to do the news. Okay, here, let me do the news here. I can do the news. Baltimore police say off-duty D.C. officer fatally shot. Okay, I don't even want to know about that. Okay, is that supposed to be a thing? I don't know. Let's keep on going down. Oh, I tell you what though. Are we gonna ban Home Depot rental trucks? Okay, so Fatwa Mohammed Madida Magulas Madaba Ahmad Mohammed, he goes to Home Depot. He says, "Hey, I want to rent a truck." And they say, and this is true because New York City, the governor said that they've already talked to rental agencies. Do you know that ISIS has videos out there saying the best way to kill Americans is to go rent a truck? Okay, so they were ready. Your liberals running New York City. We're going into raining points here. Okay, hang on. It's on. It is on. Here, let me get some stuff out of the way. I might as well just go over here to raining points because I figured I wasn't done with the first part. And I'll probably just take this and I'll splice it back with this one, the first one. Okay, so the governor of New York said, "Oh man, we went to the rental truck agencies, okay, and we warned them we got to be on the lookout." And the rental trucks people said, "Who we got to be on the lookout for?" Well, suspicious activity. What kind of people we looking for? They said, they're probably looking for maybe men. Or maybe a man, maybe a lone wolf, a lone wolf. Okay, every instance is a lone wolf, right? Well, how many lone wolves does it take to make a pack? Okay, because somebody asked that question. How many lone wolf attacks does it take to make a pack? Okay, well, last I counted, 850. There might be a pack of these animals, okay? Anyway, so they go in there. Okay. So, if you see somebody suspicious, report them to your local police department, okay? Well, should I look for a specific kind of name? Oh, no, don't do that. Okay. Should I look for somebody maybe wearing an ISIS hat? No, they can't look at that because ain't no such thing as an Islamic terrorist. So don't worry about no hat. What if they got a big ISIS flag flying around? No, don't pay no attention to that. You can't look at that. That's not a thing. So that's not a clue. Well, what if they got a bomb vest going on there? No, we can't look at that because we don't have a ban against bomb. We're trying to ban guns. So if somebody got bomb vest, they okay. Okay. So Muhammad, he goes in there, and so he get himself a rental truck, okay? He gonna go down there, and he gonna blow some people up. Well, you would think that when the rental truck agency was asking this guy, where are you from? Are you an American? No, I'm not American. I hate America. Get to America! That's not a clue. So the rental truck says, okay, we're sorry. Death to America, good. So that's okay. We rent you a truck. He said, and then they say, but we got to know, what country are you from? I'm from Yemen. I'm from Iraq. I'm from, the city of stone. I'm from Mecca. Okay. Okay, you cool. Okay. You don't really have a residence. Okay. But we noticed though that all the countries that you're from seem to be a lot of terrorists over there, but we know you're a good man because you were let in, okay? You were let into America on a lottery, okay? You hit the lottery, so you gotta be anybody wins the lottery, they gotta be a good guy. That's a nice looking bomb vest you got there. Okay. So they rent the guy a truck, okay. So I'm just saying, okay, why can't we ask the obvious question? How many people got to be killed on the altar of political correctness? Well, according to the Democrats and liberals everywhere, a whole lot more. But I'll just say this right here. Okay, if you're liberal and you all about political correctness, okay, and you don't care how many killers we import into the country, how many terrorists, obviously it's not a thing with you because you never talk about it, okay? You're never against it. All you are from immigration, from anybody, from anywhere, any kind of bomb vest you got. Oh, did you know this killer, this rental truck killer bastard, because of the lottery that he won, up to 23 other people get to come in on the follow thing. There's a follow clause. All these people got to do is say, hey, we know that killer right there. He's a friend of ours. And America say, come on in. We got checks waiting for you. We got cars waiting for you. We got houses waiting for you. We got health care waiting for you. We got it all waiting for you. You just won the lottery. So 23 of these other people all come in under this guy. Okay, Democrats love that. You know why? Because every damn one of them is going to vote Democrat. That's the whole thing. Don't think there's no compassion here. Democrats do not have compassion. Do you not understand that yet? It's not compassion that they're after. It's votes. They want to stay in power. They can't win with the population that's here now. Don't you people understand that? They got to import them. They don't care where they're killers, kitty molesters, drug dopers. They don't care. They can sit around smoking dope, and they'll be all happy if they just vote Democrat. They don't care. So our kids now all on dope. There's an opioid epidemic, and I put it right back to the Democrats. Don't give me no crap and say it's somebody else causing that. No. The reason that people are turning to opioids is because ISIS is putting it in here, for one thing. Who knows what the military's combined with over in Afghanistan with the poppy fields. So half the population is now on opioids. You know why? Because you got to be that drugged out to vote for Hillary Clinton. Okay? You got to be you have to be on some kind of opioid to vote for that witch. Man, I tell you what, man, when her colostomy bag breaks, maybe it'll shock them out of it. I don't know. But anyway. Billy Strasser wants to know, Daniel, do you play an instrument? Of course I play a guitar. Shoot. What else can I do? All right. Billy Strasser says, Daniel, all-time favorite bands. Now, this is crazy, okay? This is real crazy. Susan and I are now official Rush heads. I don't know what happened. It's like we rediscovered Rush. I don't know. It's just a thing. We're listening to it all the time, man. Tom Sawyer, the day's Tom Sawyer, high on you. I don't even know. But anyway, it's kind of weird, isn't it? So sometimes you rediscover things, but of course, when you're with the one you love, everything's looking better. All right, any other questions for me? What's this here? Re-announce where to find the Edge chat. YouTube people are lost and looking for it. I don't know where. The Edge chat is on the left side of the website of the Edge website. That's where it is. It's a green link. It says live chat. Click on that for live chat. Now, I know that we're live streaming on YouTube, so there is a chat in there, but I really, this array of computers, there's no way. I mean, there's a cell phone. I'm secret messaging people there. I got a tablet over there, Monster Apple computer there, and Monster Apple computer over there. It's crazy. I got too many computers. I can't manage that chat. I can't even be in that chat. I don't even know where I don't even want to look for that chat. But, so we got that going on. That's the edgeam.com. There you go. The edgeam.com. Pretty simple. Go there. Be there. All right. So that was my ranting points on the killer, in New York City. You know, I was thinking, now, you know, Democrats, they're going to try to get Mohammed Akbar. And what is this? Akbar? Snack bar? What is it? Who is this guy? They're always talking about this. Always talking about some kind of Aluhuhu Akbar Magabo or something. I don't know. Who is this guy? Does anybody even know who the hell this guy is? Wherever he is, going to smack him in the damn face. I don't know. Who is this guy? They're always talking about. Why was he bringing this guy up when he get ready to kill somebody? I don't know. But anywho, so he out there. Now I'm thinking, look, I know Democrats are going to try to save him. They all about compassion, but we had that discussion, haven't we? There's no compassion here. That's a lost vote, man. That guy gets that's why Bird Dog did not get the death penalty, because that's a vote. You people understand that yet? That's another vote. They don't care onesie, twosie, or 100,000 of them. Hillary Clinton says she won a 500% increase of immigration. Why? It's a 500% increase of Democratic votes. But, so anyway, the Islamic terrorist killer in New York. What we need to do, is get him on a bicycle. Okay. Get him going on a bicycle. And then get one of them big street graders, you know, that chew up the asphalt as it's laying it down. And just run that thing on it. You know, he's going. Dun, 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 dun. He looking back, man. He's scared. Dun, 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 dun. He's riding. Dun, 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 dun. There he goes. And here's a street grader coming up. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's going to be a good thing. And then they're going to catch up to him, okay? But he's going to be saying, baga waga, or whatever it is he says. Just before that street grader hits him, grinds him into the asphalt, and impregnates him right into the street. And then forever, a lot of people have great pleasure. They run in their cars and their trucks on the area, and they know they're running over this guy's head. Okay, so I'm thinking that's a pretty good deal. Right? That's the best way to handle that situation. If we handle situations like that, we'd have a lot less killers blowing people up, wouldn't we? But no, we gonna give him a love hug, aren't we? No, I'm not gonna do it. Oh boy, what else we got? We're going down the news here. Let's see. Well, it's a federal report says humans are the cause of climate change. Now, I'll tell you what's the cause of climate change is Hillary's breath. See, all things go to Hillary. I mean, it's just the way it is. Okay. If it's nasty, it goes to Hillary. I mean, that woman right there, she's got a lot of gas. She don't eat right. She's not healthy. Okay. She fell into that van, during the debate. She come running out there. She falls down on her face and her shoe flies off and they throw her in the van. Nobody knows if that's the real Hillary we're dealing with now. Her face and her weight does seem to change quite a bit, but her ugliness will stay the same because, it's all about the heart. Okay. They look on that heart and there's nothing there. It's like George H.W. Bush. George Handwack Bush, man. I'll tell you what, that boy right there, they'll put him back in his wheelchair, man, and have special Olympics for wheelchair freaks, and then maybe you can have a woman's ass grabbing contest. How about that, George H.W. Bush? That's all you good for. Yeah, you talking about you don't like Trump? Well, listen, man, I know at least 4 women reported on you, you sick freak. Okay, so, you need to be in some kind of special Olympics there, man, with that face anyway, or maybe a grindy looking nasty teeth contest, whatever you got, man. George, he said, no, see what it is? He's in a wheelchair, okay? And he just puts his hand on a woman and his hand just drops on her ass, okay? He can't hold it up. So he just drops down and then, it grabs hold, okay? Because he can't, it comes down and then he grabs, okay? Because he's trying not to fall out of his wheelchair. So, grab the biggest part of that thing going on there. But anyway, so yeah, he needs to get on out of here. What else we got here going on down? Oh boy, a lot of times I watch, the Yahoo news feed and I can guarantee you that thing 100% anti-Trump. Okay. It just anti-Trump. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what he does, what he says is anti-Trump. They just can't get over the fact that he is not a politician. Okay. He is a citizen. He's like somebody who's out there we have a beer with. Okay. He's a normal average person right there trying to do good for America. And the liberals don't like it. They don't care if America falls into the sewer as long as they're in power. That's the whole thing. It's all about the power. Doug White asked this question. And this is from our YouTube chat. Can you tell us about your experience at the Branson conference? Okay. Yes. Okay. Here. Oh yeah. I'll tell you about the experience at Branson. I was going to discuss that with L.A. Marzulli, who, evidently is not with us tonight. Look, man, I'm not the only host out there who has a guest that don't show, and he may show. It's probably just a time glitch. He's a friend of mine. And I'm sure if let's give him a call anyway. Who knows? Who knows if he's not off an hour? I gotta go to at least 9. That's an hour. So if there's an hour change somewhere, if he wakes up, okay, he's not there. Okay. Anyway, I was going to discuss Branson with him. So yeah, I went to the Branson conference there and, it was amazing. It was amazing to see all the people there, talking about Genesis 6, about the skulls and ancient history. Our history's been written, basically from a Eurocentric standpoint anyway, which I totally disagree with. And, the truth is, and the history is what it is. I know a lot of people want to change the history. But a lot of good speakers there. Steve Quayle, he's so excited to be there that he kept missing his message. Okay. He was just so happy. He kept thanking everybody. He thanked everybody for about 2 hours, man. It's like, Steve, man, I love you. You got the best stuff ever. And Steve Quayle does have the best stuff ever. But he spent 2 hours thanking everybody. So he felt bad. And this is true, Doug. He felt bad, and he, shortly after the Branson, conference, he put out a YouTube video just for those of us that went there. And, it's everything that he was going to say. And it was great. So, and it was about ancient history and various things like that. Henry Groover was there. He always talks about, his experiences, and, he's a funny guy. I didn't realize he was that funny. But he's a funny guy. I mean, he's dealt with a lot of freaks going across the world spreading the gospel, and he's definitely an original. And everyone there was definitely an original. But I do got a story. Okay, I got a story. This is a personal story. So I'm going around to the various on the foyer there was various booths. L.A. Marzulli was there. Tom Horn was there. Christina Peck, she was managing one of the booths there. Doug Woodward was there. Michael Lake was there, had one. And somebody helped me with them, somebody else. But anyway, so anyway, I go to. There's a line of people going up there. They're signing books, right? So I'm at Doug Woodward's line there, and I get down to the guy in front of me, and I got this the classic Stetson hat on, so I'm kind of like it's like an aura there, and he got a glimpse of that. He this is true. He took his hand, he waved this guy out. Derek Gilbert and Sharon Gilbert was there. Yes, that's right. They were great. We had a personal conversation with them. He took this guy and just shoved him out of the way. He says, Daniel Ott. I thought that was so funny. I was like, yeah, it's me. Yeah, Daniel Ott. And same thing with Tom Horn. He did the same thing, Thank you all. I signed the book. Thank you, signed the book. Daniel Ott. Wow. Well, because, they've only ever seen me on the internet. And really, I don't even know if I'm real. I mean, I could be a hologram out here and nobody can prove that I'm real, but I did show up in the flesh. So it was a lot of fun at the Branson conference there. And Derek Gilbert and his wife were so sweet. It was a lot of fun to see them and talk to them. And so that was good. Michael Lake ended up buying him a Coke. But it was so much fun. Dave Doppelmayr was there. Let's see who else was there that I met. We had a lot of good. But I tell you what, man, I blew my diet on that one because I did not want to leave that place, man. You cannot leave because if you left, there's 3,000 people there and there was 2,500 parking lot spaces. So I did not leave. I did not leave. You can call in. We can do a call in if anybody wants to here. 1-800-996-9638. I don't know if I have that already somewhere. Let me go back here to live. Maybe I've got where I can put the 800 number. Who knows? Nope. Here, let me see here. So if you want to call in, you can call in. I'll talk to you. Let's see here. And I don't know where this is going to show up. Probably right in the middle of the show. Here we go. Bam. Okay, hang on. Let me bring this down a little bit. Okay, bringing it down. Oh, here we go. Larry Nichols is calling in. Well, that'd be good to call in. Well, there you go. There is the number. It should ring into my secret Skype channel. Call in. There. So anyway, there you go. If you want to call into the show. So it was a lot of fun at the Branson conference. Just got my DVDs in, so a lot of fun there. See what else happened there. Dave Doppelmayr, he was streaming live right out in the foyer, I think. And then let's see what else happened there. So I'm talking to Tom Horn, and I say, hey man, I'm going to have Carl Gallup's on the program. He said, yeah. He said, well, go over there at that booth. Tell Christine to give you a DVD. And so I'm in this line, and I'm waiting up there, and I'm going to go up there. So it's all these people, and people saying, "Oh man, this line is so long. This line is so long." I know, and so I'm in the line, like I don't know, kind of back, and everybody's saying, "Man, this line is long, is long." And so I say, "Yeah, it is." So I walk out of line, I walk right up to him and say, "Hey, Tom Horn said, give me a DVD." So I got a DVD. Everybody said, "How do you get ahead of the line?" Well, because I'm Daniel Ott. Moi. So there you go. So yeah, if you want to call in, there's your number. I think it'll ring in. Who knows? I'm just freewheeling it tonight until I get another ranting point. I don't know what it is. Is a ranting point is it an itch or urge or some kind of thing? Is it something that, like the NFL people when they get a good gerbil, is it kind of one of those things? I don't know. Wait a minute. Hang on. That deserves something here. Huh? Did I just say gerbil? NFL gerbil? Yeah, I did say that, didn't I? That's about what I think about him. Alrighty, what else we got here? All right, back to the news. Any other questions? If you have questions or whatnot, put them up there. Let's see what else we got here. I'll tell you what, though, this Mueller guy, I don't trust him. Oh, wait a minute. You just can't be through enough with George Herbert Hand-Whack Bush, right? Okay. You just can't do enough of that guy. Oh, he's the only, and the reason I'm thinking about this, because Trump is letting loose on these JFK files, okay? He's letting them loose. But during his assassination, when he was assassinated, the only person in the entire world who didn't know where they were was George H.W. Bush, the CIA director at the time. He did not know where he was at. The only person in the known universe who did not remember where they was at. Okay, maybe because he's in the White House with cowboys or something. I don't know. No, because he was there. He was on that grassy knoll. Okay, everybody knows that. His goon's probably the one that pulled the trigger so he can get up there to be the president. Okay, that's all I can tell you. I don't trust him. No, somebody says they don't recall where they were during the JFK assassination. Yeah, he was. He was standing up on that grassy knoll. Who that freak? What a freakazoid, man. These are people running our country. Look, we always suspected the Bushes were liberals, okay? George Bush, we get attacked by 19 Saudis, so he goes to war with Afghanistan. You had to know there was something up with that, okay? George's little boy, his little boy there, George H.W., his little boy, man, he gonna take us to a $4 trillion war. We're still paying the price. How many thousands of our guys got killed and we didn't even win the war because they couldn't win a war? Okay? Oh, we're still fighting them. And we're still fighting them. And we're still fighting them. All right. All right. Any other questions? Put them up there in there, and I'll get to your questions, or you can call in your questions at 1-800-996-9638. All right. About this Mueller guy. I don't like him. Don't got no use for the boy. Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't he the one that was the FBI director when Clinton was making deals with the Russians to sell 25% of our uranium to the Russians? How is it? Can somebody answer this question? Russian collusion. We got one side of this is where the Democrats, the Clinton campaign pays an untold number of dollars to some freak in Russia to manufacture a fake document to accuse Trump of colluding with the Russians, which caused Mueller to start an investigation. So the whole investigation was started on a fraudulent document paid for by Hillary Clinton. Hang on, somebody's calling in. Let's take this. Hello, you're on the Edge television broadcast.
Hey, Daniel. I have a story for you when I was young. It has to do with I think it could be UFO related.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Okay, when I was a young kid, probably around 5 years old, I used to see at night this creature would come, right? It was bald.
Ooh.
It wore a black jumpsuit. And I tell my parents this guy keeps visiting me, right? And he had kind of the alien eyes, but back then I didn't know what it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one night, my father woke up, saw the thing, it put him to sleep, levitated him back into his bed, and it was weird. But after I hit about 6 years old, I stopped seeing these creatures. But they were bald and, the alien looking kind of. It was really strange.
And they've never appeared since?
No, and I used to tell my brothers and sisters this all the time, and I didn't want to go to sleep at night. It's a freak me out to go to sleep. And he would just appear out of nowhere. He could walk through walls and stuff like that. And the closet and weird stuff. And I used to think, wow, this is odd. Even as a 5-year-old, I thought it was strange. It used to scare the heck out of me. But I don't know. But my brother sees a lot of aliens, so I don't know if this is related, so who knows. Very odd story.
Well, who got levitated? Your dad?
Yeah. He woke up and he said, what are you doing here to this creature? And he kind of put him to sleep, levitated him, and put him back into his bed. And I used to pass out because it was so scary seeing this creature.
You have no idea why you were selected for that interaction.
No, and he used to ask me about my family. What are they doing, and this and that, and then one time I saw a bunch of them together, and I thought they were Chinese. As a kid, you kind of think it's like Oriental, but now looking back, I'm like, no, they were more like aliens. You know, it was strange.
Well, it is a strange.
I can't explain it, but I used to be petrified to go to sleep at night because of this.
So you were never really abducted?
Once I was in a room with all of them, but I can't say I was or not.
Mm-hmm.
But when the TV would go off at night, the national anthem, I used to freak out. I didn't like hearing the national anthem. So I don't know whether because I knew the television was going off and we'd have to go to bed, or they were going to bed, everyone was going to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad it hasn't happened to you anymore. Would a shadow person fit the description somewhat, or no? I mean, yeah, it's interesting you said they were bald.
It was an intelligent person. It was an intelligent being, and it was like. And my sister used to pretend to scare me saying she was this creature, and she'd run around and chase me, but put white makeup on her face because I said it had a white face. It had white. It was white. Mm-hmm. But it could have been, light blue like an alien. But now I'm looking back, and I'll tell people this. I think I was visited by a extraterrestrial. Mm-hmm. But I just, as a kid, you can't really, figure out what it is. Mm-hmm. But it had like a black, like a jumpsuit almost.
Kind of like a time traveling jumpsuit, perhaps.
I don't know. It was kind of a mean creature. It was kind of like it wasn't nice. It wasn't a nice creature.
Well, listen, you would think there would be a motive. Scaring you? I mean, okay, so you were scared. We can get scared by scary movies. You would think there was something on the other end of it that they wanted. And I wonder if that goal that they had was ever reached.
Yeah, I don't know. My brother says that he was visited a couple times by aliens. He saw them, actually, when he was older. Well, I don't know if that was part of it or, or if it was the same individual. Mm-hmm. But it was an intelligent, as a kid, I knew it was an intelligent person. It was intelligent. It wasn't, it was a smart creature.
Well, sorry that happened to you. Hopefully, and you say it hadn't happened again, so I think at least you escaped that part of it.
I have dreams about it occasionally. I mean, as a kid, as an adult, I laugh about it. But, I think as children, when they're visited by aliens, I think they can't figure, they can't, they don't know how to relate to that, So they think, oh, maybe it's this or that. But now looking back, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, it could have been one of those grays, and I couldn't figure out what it was,
Well, I've always felt that children until a certain age have the ability to see maybe into a different dimension until us adults talk them out of it. In which case they got to grow up, get a mortgage, have a job, and die off. So but in the beginning it seems like they have a certain ability, but then later it just goes away because the adult world kind of ruins it for them. And I'm thinking that that world, if it exists as a child, it still exists and it's still out there. So occasionally I think the streams cross or what we call a thin place. Maybe perhaps where you lived at that time was a thin place where two dimensions were close together, and at some point something just walked right out of it into yours.
Exactly. Hey, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of these guys on the internet, conspiracy theorists, right? And they'll give dates like, oh, on this date this is going to happen. On this date this will. And it never seems to come true. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they make the whole it seems like they make themselves look stupid by doing that.
Well, today is one of those days. November 4th was hyped up. Somebody asked me in the live chat about Dave Hodges. I would say this: there have been some people out there that have said that November 4th is the day because not only did we have the Day of Rage across the United States by the Antifa masses, but was also today was supposed to be a blackout trial run, which would have been under cover of an actual blackout where the government's going to take over and shut power off and then throw people into FEMA camps. So I'm kind of with you on that. Again, another fizzled date. So I'm wondering when the next one is. And so, the date setters have pretty much ruined it for me. I think there's been 3 or 4 dates at least this year, probably 4 or 5. Now we're going into next year. It's always interesting. After the date passes, they say, well, we recalculated, it's going to be another one. So.
Right. Well, someone told me, because I was saying this at work, they said, no, on this date, they have to shut down the power plants, nuclear plants, because once a year they have to, and I think it's around this time of year, they have to do something to them. And so the power gets lower. And they said, I think that's what they meant when they were talking about this.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with them shutting all the power off in the country. And, I love these shows. Don't get me wrong. I listen to them. But they do make themselves, they set themselves up to fail when they give dates.
Well, they're also roundly mocked. I don't know if it was Newsweek or one of the fake news channels was saying that the alt-right is saying that super soldier Antifa is going to be killing white people. And I'm thinking, well, they got that ridiculous statement because there are people out there that kind of hinted and suggested that was going to happen, And I just saw in the live chat, somebody said that now November 19th is making the rounds. So I would say ignore the dates for sure. And I would say enjoy your life to the best and fullest that you can possibly do, and take every second and squeeze the life out of it. Don't wait for good times. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for an hour. Take that second. Say be thankful for the second you got at that particular moment, because the only time you really have is right now, when you're alive right now. It doesn't vary from that ever. So you got to make sure that you stay focused on that and be happy.
Exactly, because I just think it's kind of ridiculous when they do this kind of stuff. And they do look really stupid,
Mm-hmm. And there you go. And what you're really saying is, when the real date comes, if there ever is a real date, it's crying wolf right there. So, but who knows when
someone's going to die. It's like saying Jerry Lewis is going to die, right? And then one day he does die. See, I told you so. I said he was going to die. Well, yeah, eventually when someone gets old enough, they will pass away. And it's like this too. Yeah, one day this probably will happen. And they'll say, see, I told you so. But anyone could do this. Anyone could say, there's going to be civil war in this country. Well, it could happen tomorrow or 500 years from now.
Right. And when it does, they're going to say, hey, look back at my YouTube video I made 2 years ago. I told you. And I'm already ready for that, man. People are saying that. Well, a lot of times I see people read the news and then they say, I just came up with this like they got revelation knowledge, and I can find it in a news report somewhere else that they just took and plagiarized it and then claimed it for their own. So yeah, that goes back to that. Just ignore that and keep on living, keep having fun. And man, thanks for the call.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, bye. Alrighty, that was a call you can call in too at 1-800-996-9638. The Edge television broadcast. Probably got our wires crossed with our scheduled guest for tonight. We'll have L.A. Marzulli back on at some other point here. Going back to the news. Let's get that. Oh, by the way, today it was November the 4th, man. It was a bad day. It was a bad day if you're predicting it. But yeah, we had 3 Antifa, because Indianapolis was scheduled for the overthrow of the Pence. The Trump-Pence regime, man. They call it the regime. Okay, the only thing they ever throw was a bunch of drugs. All right, we're going to get back here to what is in today's news here. But Hillary Clinton stole the election from Bernie. When you say you like socialism, well, here's what they did. Debbie Wasserman Schultz and them, they're showing you what socialism is. They took your votes and gave them to Hillary. So you love socialism. There you go. They just showed you how to enjoy it. So they enjoying that one, are you, Bernie? Bernie's awful quiet now, isn't he? Alrighty, go on. See what else we got. Howard Dean, Clinton DNC agreement with Standard Operating. Howard Dean, he's a screamer dude. He a freak anyway. But I'm just saying, Hillary Clinton's got 3 scandals. She got 3 scandals going on right now. The Russian investigation where she got millions of dollars to her Clinton Foundation, and her boy Bill got paid $500,000 for a speech. What kind of Russian would pay? You talk about collusion. The Russians are paying millions of dollars to the Clintons. How can that not be collusion? Okay, so you got that scandal going on. The breaking for Donna Brazier saying that Hillary basically bought the DNC and kicked Bernie out. Okay, you got that one going on, and then the dossier was paid for by the Clintons. I mean, it doesn't stop. Why doesn't she go away? Okay, the Hagatha Clinton. Why doesn't she just go away? And nobody know why she won't go away. I wish she'd go away. Alrighty. All right, let's go back to it. What else we got? Looking at today's news. So we're going to do call-ins, whatever, and some news reports here. Obama, there's another guy won't go away. He just will not go away. And then you got that Bertha-looking freak, Michael Obama. She won't go away either. Now, you know she got halitosis, okay? Now, we can understand she got health problems, okay? And then biceps, man, you know. I'm just saying, those man biceps she got and her man vocal cords, whatnot, her Adam's apple she got. I understand she got problems. She got health problems, okay? I understand she got health problems too. Why is it all Democrats all like that? But she won't go away. Okay, she making the rounds, saying how bad Trump is and whatnot. You know what? Obama's voted out, Hillary's voted out. We voted for somebody as a citizen. And I think hopefully there'll be a lot more people getting elected that are just citizens. We need to go back to a citizen government. Now Trump's heading into an Asia trip, man. I wonder if he's going to go to the DMZ line over there between North Korea and South Korea. I wouldn't put it past him, okay? But you know, that boy with the freaky haircut, Kim Jong-un or Stung or Stink or Dink or Do or who knows what. I mean, what is it with these guys? Can't they have a normal name? How about Bill? But no, it's got to be Kim Jong. First of all, he got a girl named Kim. Okay, we're going to call him Kimmy. Okay. And so, you know, he's transvestite. So, and in that whole country, that old godforsaken country of North Korea, he's the only one who gets to eat. Okay, everybody else has got to go out in the cornfield and eat stale corn off the cob, man. They can't even cook it over there because they can't start a fire. But that boy, he eating good. Boy, he eating good in the neighborhood over there. Okay, you know he got him some KFC. Okay, I tell you what though, is anybody ever had KFC gizzards? Am I the only one? And I tell you what though, you eat some gizzards, man, that turn you into a cowboy right there. Let's see what else we got here. Experts say, Mueller and his boys, so the henchmen, you know, they're all Clinton supporters. Okay, how do we have a impartial investigation when the entire investigative team of Mueller are Clinton supporters? How is that fair? How are we going to get a fair and impartial investigation? We're not going to. We all know that. They're not looking at the millions of dollars that was transferred. Oh, they're looking at the millions of dollars of Manafort 10 years ago. Hey, how did Mueller get unlimited investigation into people's history? I thought it was supposed to be about Russian collusion. No, man, they're going back to grade school now. They're hunting and fishing, do whatever they can do to get something. Okay, that's an unlimited investigation. Who got the money strings on that? Somebody needs to put the end of that. Put the kibosh on that investigation. But Mueller, yeah, he was the FBI director when Clinton was doing her shenanigans selling our uranium. Isn't that a daisy? Isn't that a daisy? It all just come back around, didn't it? Yep. Protection and collusion. Our government is a mess. Swamp ain't nearly a good enough word for Washington, D.C., man. There's a bunch of freaks over there. But, all right, what else we got here? Mueller. Yeah, his people, they're planning on putting a gag order on Trump because they say he's interfering with their investigation because he called one of them boys that Mueller made a deal with. He called him a liar, and so said Trump's interfering with it. No, he's not interfering. He said the guy's a liar. Okay, what's wrong with that? How's that interfering with anything? But the judge in the case, she says she's just waiting for Mueller to give her the request to put a gag order on Trump about the Russia investigation. Really? Yeah. Well, James Comey, that boy, he did a Russia investigation for a year and didn't get nothing. Now they got this other henchman. You know they're going to manufacture. I'm surprised they haven't manufactured evidence in this case. You know they're going to do it. They're going to find some little smidget of something. The Democrats are going to look at that and say, this is what they always do no matter what happens. This is the worst offense in the history of the United States. No matter what it is. Well, they said, hey, you gave $1 somewhere or you took a phone call somewhere. And they're going to say, that's it. The worst ever. He sold out our country with that phone call. Well, let me tell you, I want to know whose vote was changed by the Russians interfering with the election. And from what I can tell is they tried to prevent Trump from being elected. Yeah, those people are not fooling anybody. Do you know ABC, NBC, and CBS? There is nothing on those news websites have anything to do with Donna Brazier's new book. They have not even announced that book even exists because it points a negative light on Hillary Clinton. Unbelievable. You want to know how there's collusion? There's collusion. Hillary's got stuff on everybody. That's how she has made it all this time, because she's got a twofold thing going on there. She commits crimes. At the same time, she gets and collects dirt on others. And that's how she keeps them at bay. Okay. Or she pays them off. Or, as we all know, there's something called the Clinton body count. And that number of the Clinton body count, man, just keeps going up and up and up, man. It just keeps going up. But Bird Dog, he really pissed me off, though. How did that boy... How Bird Dog, okay, he's a traitor. You know, he gets a dishonorable discharge when he should be executed. Okay, this is a simple fact. Okay, he walked off his post. How can you have cohesion in the military unit when you got people walking off the post? Then you have dopes like Obama trading a bunch of killer Islamic terrorists for him. Man, that's messed up. How do we get to this point? Well, because good men never said nothing. Good men... I don't know how many people bought off in Washington, D.C. I think they're all in on it, okay? I'll tell you what, though. It's kind of like when God told Lot, tried to make a deal with Lot, said, I'll tell you what, if there's 50 righteous people, I won't destroy the city of Washington, D.C. Oops, can't find 50. He said, well, how about 30? All right, if there's 30 good guys in Washington, D.C., I won't destroy it. Well, it's really not 30. How about 20 guys? No, ain't 20 good people in D.C. How about 10? How about just 2? Or maybe we only got 2 or 3 of them. That's kind of how we are, isn't it? History repeats itself. All right, going on down to the news reports. By the way, if you want to call in, 1-800-996-9638. And here's a call. Let's take it. Daniel Law here with The Edge. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Daniel. My name's Gary.
Hey, Gary.
How are you?
Good, man. I'm outstanding. I'll tell you what, they ought to clone me so there can be more happy people in the world.
All right. Hey, I'm calling from Indiana.
Oh, love that state.
And yeah. You know, there's a lot of. I was reading some stuff. There's a lot of mounds. I think isn't Marzulli the guy that talks about giants that are buried and things like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess Indiana's got a lot of that. Yeah.
By the way, Real Ear in the live chat says hi, Gary. Well, I'll tell you what, okay. I was at one. I was at the Anderson Mounds, and it's ridiculous when you read the plaques that the Park Service puts around there. It says the Indians decided that they were going to build these mounds, and if you look at the mounds, you're thinking, well, one, what kind of technology was employed here, and two, how do they know? They're only speculating. But they try to put that off as history. And I think the archaeological evidence and the historical evidence, as in our early American newspapers show, there were giant bones in those mounds, and the Smithsonian Institute came and grabbed them all and hid them away.
Yeah, I heard that. In fact, no, I read that actually.
Well, that's true.
I wanted to kind of put a different spin on that if I could.
Sure, go ahead.
So I know that, you know, a lot of truthers out there, and I've heard you talk about this, and you know, a lot of your listeners have a tendency to kind of go towards scripture, right?
Okay.
And they look at the Bible and they read the Bible. I don't know how many actually study the Bible. I think a lot of them listen to YouTube videos. And they regurgitate, you know, things that they hear other people say. Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
And so, you know, you mentioned earlier Genesis 6. You know, in those days, there were giants in the land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And see, the thing about it, if you look at it, there's a natural and there's a spiritual, okay? There's a visible and there's an invisible, and they're mirror images of each other. Okay? There's that which is seen and that which is heard. You can see things visible. You hear things, words or thoughts are invisible. Okay? It's an invisible realm.
Okay.
So, you know, we know that naturally speaking, there were giants in the land because there's proof.
All right.
But spiritually, you got to look at it like this. You know, man was made from the dust of the earth. We're formed from the clay of the ground, right?
Okay.
And we are the land, right?
Okay.
And there's two ways of looking at this. You know, there's the promised land, okay? The promise is the nature of God himself through us. We're the land, he's the promise. If we follow him, we're in the promised land, okay? That's one way.
Okay.
Another way, when you look at it with giants, you know, since we are the land, and there are giants in the land,
Okay.
you got to understand what those giants are, okay? Giants could be greed, could be hate, could be impatience, could be unkindness. And we need to take a stone most precious, and we need to fling that thing into the mind or the forehead of that giant. We have to start thinking a different way, okay? So if we're an unkind person, we have that giant in our land,
Okay.
we need to learn how to be kind. And the only way to be kind is to follow a different thought.
Wow.
Thought of kindness, you know? You got to follow, if you're following a thought to be unkind, you need to follow a thought to be kind. So what you do is you cut off the head of that giant of unkindness and begin to express kindness. Okay?
Okay.
And the same thing is true for all the giants that we can potentially run into in life, because really there's only two real reasons why we're here. Okay, I think.
Okay.
And I agree with you. I agree with you that we live in the moment. Okay, it's always present tense, always. But the first reason why we're here is because our Creator wants to enjoy His creation, and He does that through us.
Okay.
Who's our Creator? Our Creator is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, humility. That is God, okay?
Okay.
And when you express those things outward towards others, that's the Son of God, all right?
Okay.
And the second reason we're here is to understand the power of the mind, because we couldn't understand the power of the mind unless we had a body.
Okay.
So that's just my take on Genesis 6.
Okay. Well,
And,
I
I mean,
think
you
that's
know-
awesome. I
Yeah.
think it's awesome, Gary. I mean, certainly everyone's opinion and learning experience is of value, and I'm sure somebody can learn from that. And I love that idea that the giants in our land can be personal issues or who knows what. I could look at it a whole different way by thinking like that. So no, it's a good call.
Well, you know, David did, and he slew the giant, right? He slew the Philistine with a stone.
Okay. Okay.
So anyway, that's just what I had to say, and I appreciate you taking my call, Daniel.
All right. Thanks, Gary.
Okay, bye.
All right, everybody, there's the number to call, 1-800-996. Let me put it back down there again. Well, it's a little large. Okay, that's better. All right, yeah, I got a semicolon in there. I got to fix that too. So there you go. Call in. I'll just do some more headlines here if you want to. And going back to the news, let me see what else is happening out there. Greek economists to Trump, don't antagonize China. You know, I had a discussion the other day about North Korea. Don't poke the bear. By the way, I see Billy Sasser says, great call, Gary. You know what? We need to poke the bear. Here's why. Okay. Because for 20 years, and the George Bush, get out of here, you and your ilk. Okay. Your minions. Okay. We have been appeasing North Korea for 25 years. There is video out there on YouTube showing, Bill Clinton saying, hey, after our $25 billion exchange with North Korea, we never have to worry about them getting a nuke. Why do they say these things? Okay. Because they're lying bastards. That's why. Of course. So here we are. Now Trump has to deal with it, doesn't he? He's got to deal with the nukes in North Korea because a bunch of fools have been placating these freaks over there for 25 years. So no, we need to poke the bear, okay? Because that's going to make little fat boy Kim Jong-il with the girl's name, that's going to make him do something stupid. And you know he's all kind of stupid, and so he's going to do something even stupider, okay? He's going to go from stupid to stupid, okay? Fat boy, you know, somebody's going to find him eating, and they're going to want some of that food, okay? I think he needs to start sharing, okay? Boy, eating all the food over there in North Korea. So you got that right there. There's a number to call if anybody wants to call in. Let's see what else we got here. Going back to the news. What else? Oh, by the way, I know they're still protesting in the NFL, the National Freak League. And they want that thing go to the next level. Okay. Well, you can go all kind of levels you want to, you bunch of freaks out there. Cowboy don't watch football no more. Okay. You out. Okay. You out. So I'm not going to buy no banner. I'm not going to buy no $50 hot dog or beer or whatever it is you people are selling out there in the stands anyway. Yeah, you're gonna have to give away tickets to see the NFL because ain't nobody gonna watch this stupid thing. Bunch of overpaid freaks. All right, there you go. Let's see here. What else we got here? So is anybody else swore off the NFL? How many people still watching the NFL in the live chat? Anybody still watching it? Let me just, if you are, say why. If you're not, say why. And I will. Let's see. Yahoo View. Didn't I tell you earlier, every story about Donald Trump is negative? Here's one. Donald Trump is obstructing justice in plain sight. Okay. Thank you, Yahoo. Oh boy. Yeah, he's okay. Every negative thing in the history of the world has been caused by Trump if you watch Yahoo News. I don't even know why. I guess it's because my email address has Yahoo in it. So I guess that's why I got to watch that crap. Let's see what else we got here. Pam Bondi says, Americans deserve to know the truth about Clinton. Well, will we ever get the news about Clinton? Here, Jade, our moderator says, we'll not watch NFL until they respect our flag and our veterans. Well, that's something that they ought to do, but I don't know that they're going to do it. But, there was a time, people, can I talk to you for a second? There was a time when the NFL was a very patriotic league. They respected our veterans. They respected the flag. And I think we have the video to see it. Let's take a look.
Academy, the United States Air Force Academy, the United States Military Academy at West Point, the United States Coast Guard Academy, and accompanied by the United States
This was when the NFL respected the flag and our soldiers. There was a time when they were patriotic. Even the players were singing with the national anthem. But now it's been taken over by a bunch of thugs and freaks. Have no business being in the NFL. They've ruined it. And I don't know what's going to take to get it back. And I think it's just going to get worse because these people are not letting go. Nobody wants to go to the NFL game and be preached to by a bunch of freaks, overpaid charlatans who are upset because Nobody knows why. Nobody even knows why they're upset. Okay, nobody even knows why. It all started by that chia pet calling Caper Dick the world's largest chia pet. Oh yeah, he dropped out of the NFL. Now he's suing. Now he's suing the NFL, demanding phone records from the owners of the NFL clubs. And who knows what's going to come out with that. I think the NFL owners just need to eliminate the whole league, start all over again. Say, hey, you can come into the league if you want to be a patriot, if you want to stand during the national anthem. But right now it's a mess, and it's going to get even messier and uglier. Peter from Australia says Hillary could be found kneeling over a dead body, clutching a knife with blood dripping from it while chanting satanic phrases, and people would still say there's nothing to see here. Peter from Australia, you're absolutely right. That is indeed the case. I just said that the three major network news organizations haven't even mentioned Donna Brazier's book. That is a groundbreaking, explosive book and information in there. It verifies the WikiLeaks emails that came out. And the thing about Donna Brazier is, let me say something about that. When the WikiLeaks came out, the emails come out of a possibility of Hillary colluding to take over the DNC to make sure that she was coronated as the official candidate, which was illegal in DNC land. She had a conversation with Bernie and said, well, I'm going to get to the bottom of these WikiLeaks emails. I'm going to find out. This is where they kicked Debbie Wasserman, or Wussy, or whatever her name is, kicked her out. I just call her Cabbage Girl. But anyway, kicked her out, and then Donna Brazier took over. Well, she looked into it, and then she found out the start of the information that these emails were the emails sent from the Clinton campaign to the DNC in collusion to take it over. So what she did was, she supposedly, according to her book, she went home because she's getting ready. She's going to have to call Bernie and tell him the truth. She went home, put on some gospel records, and she had some truth happen in her life, I guess you would say. But no, the biggest bombshell book of the period right now, it's not even, you can't even hardly find it. It's definitely not on Yahoo. It's not on most of the news networks. It's zero. How can that be? How can that be? Because they're in on it. Just another way to say it's fake news, controlling the message. I'm just hoping that controlling the message from the news standpoint doesn't make a difference whether there's investigations or not. Whether there's, the FBI goes after them or not. I say, well, we got to look at the news. Well, not saying that about the news, so we don't need investigators. They tried that already, really. They said they're on one of the Clinton, Judicial Watch was doing a Freedom of Information Act, and the FBI said, hey, there's not enough people that want to know this information, so we're not going to give it to you. Well, last I checked, Freedom of Information Act did not require the public to say that the public is interested in any kind of subject. And if so, what does that amount? How much public interest does it require, according to the FBI, for them to release information through the Freedom of Information Act? They never said. Is it 10 people? Is it 20 people? No, it's a bunch of crap. Okay. They just didn't want to say, they didn't want the information out. And they use a skanky Clinton-esque type of excuse not to do what the law requires them to do. That's why I simply do not trust the FBI. Which, by the way, when they went in and manhandled Manafort and his wife, bunch of freaks, kind of reminds me of Ruby Ridge. This is a Ruby Ridge type attack on Manafort and his wife in the middle of the night. Of course, I don't know how many, 14 agents or so, picked the lock on his house. Okay. Now this is supposed to be, looking for information for collusion with the Russians, but in fact, they were looking for any kind of crime that he ever committed in his entire life, and would be considered a white collar crime, which the first time in the history of the FBI, they went and assaulted a guy's house and his family. This is the first time that a white collar crime was handled this way by the FBI. How did he get that distinction? How is he the first guy? Because this Mueller guy's a freak. That's why. So anyway, they pick the lock. They go in there. There's him and his wife laying in bed. They grab her in the bed and frisk her down looking for weapons. She's in her nightgown. She's in her nightie. Okay. Probably not wearing underwear either, but I'm just saying. They frisk her. What kind of man does that? I don't care if you work for the FBI, the CIA, or any kind of these other bogus agencies. What kind of man would do that to a woman? That is ridiculous and retarded. They're not men they're just molesters. What is it? We know that George Herbert hand whacked Bush. We know he's a molester, putting his hand on people and letting his hand slide down a woman's head. So we know he's a molester. Kevin Spacey, he's a molester. All of Hollywood's molesting everybody. They're molesting each other. It's a molest fest over there in Hollywood. So I don't want to hear another damn word about Hollywood telling other people how to live, how to love, how to do this, how to do that, because everybody's a freaking molesters over there. So they break into his house. Everybody's getting a shot at his wife. Okay. Everybody's getting a pat her down. Everybody's getting a frisker. Everybody's getting orifice probes, man, looking for weapons. Are you kidding me? Jeez. Man, wasn't there a time, it's like kiddie porn. If there's a man, there have been some videos on YouTube where a guy is caught molesting a kid, and maybe the father comes out and just cold cocks the son of a bitch, just knocks him out or whatever, and that's good to see. It really warms the heart. And there's a time when there were men in this country. They fought in World War II. They're in the military right today. Some of the good ones are still in the military. I'm not talking about your Chelsea Manning types or your Bo Bird Dog type traitor types, which is the military's got a lot of. But there's still some patriots in the military. Okay, there's a time when a man wouldn't stand for that. But now, so they go and molest his wife. Okay, looking for weapons. Okay, gee, I wonder if you see a woman in a 90. Let's see. You might have a AK-47 in there, so we're going to frisk you. Well, this pisses me off, man. What kind of FBI, what kind of respectable organization does that? Man, it makes me mad. I'm just telling you, it's nasty. That's a nasty organization, man. How could anybody ever trust the FBI for anything, man? Where's Zeppelin Zimlis Jr., man? Where's that guy? He wouldn't do nothing like that. Heck, the TV show was better, more respect for the organization then than there is now. All right, what else we got here? Going down. This. By the way, if you want to call in, it is 1-800-99. I don't even know if that's showing anymore. I changed my. Oh, here, it's not in there. Here, let me get that back. Oh, there it is. Okay, there you go. I haven't changed that background for a while. Here, hang on for a second. Oh, let me come up with something good here. Oh, there you go. That's one of my favorites. So we'll just leave that back there. It makes some people mad. All righty. What else we got here? I'm going back in the news. Stand by. CNN contributor, stop all immigration right now. Okay, I'm with it. Why don't we? Hey, this country got along really well without the FBI. So I'm with Michael Broski. Michael, let's get rid of the FBI, man. I can't stand these nerds. Do you understand what they did? It's just like Ruby Ridge, man. Does anybody even know? Does anybody remember Ruby Ridge, what they did? They tricked Randy Weaver. They tricked him into sawing a shotgun off 1 inch below federal specifications. Oh yeah, they got him and said, hey, you just cut that off. We can throw you in prison. But what we want you to do is work for us. So they bribed him. They threatened him, okay, with jail and who knows what. And he wouldn't do it. So they surrounded his cabin. So his dog goes out there. He's barking. Federal agents shot and killed his dog. Now right there should tell you enough about the FBI. If you're going to shoot a man's dog, you're lower than spit, okay? You don't never kill a man's dog, okay? A man's dog is very personal to him. It is his friend, okay? You never kill a man's dog. They killed him, killed his dog, killed his boy. So his wife comes out to see where the commotion is. She got a baby in her hand, and an FBI sniper shoots her right between the eyes and kills her. Yeah. Oh, don't think I forgot that one. The government ended up having to pay them $1 million or so. That was not enough. It was not enough. They've never made up for that. They never got credibility for that. That was under a Democrat leadership, man. Why is it Democrats always like that? Why? Oh yeah, they burned down Waco. Oh yeah, Democrats running that show. They just don't stop, do they? They just do not stop. All right, what else we got here? Judge gives deserter. Oh, we've talked about this. This is what the headline says. Judge gives deserter bird dog slap on the wrist. Well, what they're doing, they're giving bird dog a slap on the wrist and giving our military a slap in the face. Okay, get out of here. Unpatriotic bastards. George Washington didn't have nothing to do with you. All right, what we got here? Trump's Justice Department wants ACLU lawyers disciplining Jane Doe undocumented teen abortion case. I don't want to hear about that one. Ivanka Trump pays tribute to Japanese culture. Okay. All right. Well, they're going to go after her. Don't think that Ivanka Trump is not in Mueller's radar. Okay. Nothing better than the FBI agents want to go in there in the middle of the night, get her to frisk her. Okay. You just know that the perverts want to do that. All right. What else we got here? I already talked about this. Hillary Clinton rigged the Democratic primary, may have broken the law. Really? Hillary Clinton breaks the law? No, come on, man. Not our Hillary. Not the Hillster. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that girl. Okay? She's been breaking the law for 30 years. Don't think I forgot about the Rose Law Firm and burning of the documents behind the Rose Law Firm. Oh, they said, remember the documents that were under federal subpoena? Well, here at the law firm, we were having a weenie roast, and we burned them behind the building, and we was roasting them. We didn't know. Yeah, they got away with that, didn't they? They burned the Rose Law Firm records. They just burned them. They've been destroying documents ever since. In today's age, that was 30 years ago. Back then, the Clintons just burned documents. Today, they just delete them, and they smash their hard drives. Okay, that's how they're still doing it. They've been doing it forever. They wrote that book on destroying documents and subpoena documents. They wrote the book on that, man. Gosh. What else we got here? New York terror attack brings out media bias. Of course, there's media bias, man. They don't want you to know who's killing people. Kind of reminds me of Sweden, man. Sweden's the rape capital of the world now because of political correctness. And I was wondering, do the women over there, are they signing up? Are they signing up for that? Or there's no men over there that don't care that half the women population in Sweden being raped by the Islamic freaks coming through there. Alrighty. Senator Corker scorches Trump on veiled threats against Sessions. You know, this Corker guy, he needs to be corked. Or his brain is uncorked. I don't know which, man, but whatever, put that nasty piece of work back in a bottle. Keep that cork pressed down in there so that nasty piece of work can't get out of there. That's what I got to say about it. What else we got here? I'm going down the news here. Mueller protected Obama and Clinton, so he should be fired, says Republican. Of course, he's been protecting the Clintons and the Obamas. Says, what do you think he got the job for? Okay, him and his henchmen. Yeah, he's putting trust back in the FBI. Oh yeah, a lot of trust there. I already said why he's not. What else we got? Donald Trump mocked by Hawaiians. Okay, well there you go. Another Yahoo. Have I said anything positive from Yahoo Newsfeed? No, because there is not such a thing. By the way, Trump's Twitter account got deleted by an angry employee as he was leaving. He deleted it. Now I'm wondering. Wait a minute. What's it say? Twitter employee who deactivated Trump's account on last day told to get a lawyer. There you go. Hey, maybe Mueller should investigate that. Alrighty. What else we got? We already talked about that one there. Going down. Let's see what else we got there. Bird dog. He's a freak. I just like to say that. Whenever I think of his name, I just think freak. Guy's freak. Okay. Trump team's lawyers demand evidence is suppressed in Mueller investigation. Yeah, the evidence that exonerates him has been suppressed, and I'm sure somebody in the FBI doing a Photoshop right now trying to generate some kind of manufactured evidence against Trump, because that's the only thing they can do. Okay, they're probably creating it right now. But Alan Dershowitz, the liberal professor, he says no criminal evidence yet in either Trump-Russia investigation or Democrat scandals. Hillary Clinton is a walking scandal, okay? And she smells like one too. You know, you always want to stay downwind if you're in the area of Hillary Clinton, okay? You just got to stay, because it stinks, okay? A lot of stink. Kind of remember a stink bug. By the way, I've heard in some parts of the country there's been infestation of ladybugs, okay? Now, the ladybug, what they do, they secrete blood, their own blood, and it's usually yellow, and it stinks, okay? It smells like mold. And that's to keep their attackers away. Well, that's what Hillary Clinton does. Her colostomy bag is always leaking. She always got this kind of stench. You ever, like in Peanuts, the one guy that's always got this cloud around him. Somebody in the live chat tell me, what's that guy's name? Stinky or Binky or, but he always got a cloud. Does he got a blanket too? But anyway, he always got a dirt cloud around him. Well, that's the way Hillary Clinton is, okay? She got this cloud of stank, okay? And just scaring people away from her. And they can't stand to be around her, and they just try to get away. Netflix takes no action against Danny Masterson despite multiple rape accusations. Well, there you go. There you go. Flatfoot says I'm eating. I got to put that visual in there. But somebody got to tell me, who's that in Peanuts with that cloud of dirt? And I think he's usually sucking his thumb as he's walking around. But, that's a perfect picture of Hillary Clinton, man. I mean, she don't wash, okay? Her, Pigpen. Thank you, Doug White. That's who it is. Okay. Well, we just call Hillary Clinton Stench Pen. Okay. That work for that? All right. Let's see, going on down. Bernie supporters speak out about DNC scandal. Well, sorry, Bernie. I already said you were a victim of your own socialism. Hillary Clinton took your votes and took them for herself. Hey, that's socialism. You like it. Alrighty. But there's good news, though. At least 3 House Republicans have calling for Mueller to resign from special counsel. You ever look at Mueller's face? He kind of got that, look of, who's that guy that said he was a hero, but he's really not? John McCain? He's not a hero. A hero don't end up. He a goofy bastard anyway. John McCain, he got that big jowl looking thing going on the side of his face. Well, Mueller looked like he got these jowl looking things on both sides of his face. What's going on with that? Okay, what's some kind of network in there? Some kind of thing in? I don't know what's up in that thing. Some kind of thing dripping from his face. I mean, look at him. I look like a clown. Sears stores closing. 18 more in 2017. Well, Sears, listen, man, Sears, that's a basket case of a store. One time, the tools was only good because you give lifetime warranty on them. That's all you ever really did have. Let's see. Elizabeth Warren, we just call her Pocahontas. I really don't want to hear Elizabeth Warren. Every time I see a picture of her, she's always screaming. One of them screaming skanks. I don't even know. All right, see what we got here. Broadcom reportedly eyeing an $80 billion deal. Now, the stock market, this is what really is strange to me. With the huge increase of the value of the stock market and businesses and employment at a 20-year low and this and that going on, economy doing records, why don't corporations back up Trump's agenda? I don't get it. Isn't the value of their stock portfolio, their stock value, isn't that, when it goes into trillions, doesn't that tell a company, hey, maybe we should get the Democrats, stop supporting the Democrats who only want regulation and they can't stand corporations and they can't stand somebody having a profit and always trying to beat down companies and corporations and tie them down with regulations and incomprehensible tax laws. Why do companies support Democrats when they can take all that great stuff the Democrats offer and have been doing forever, or they can take, say, like a Trump guy who increases the value of their stock by billions or trillions of dollars? I don't get that. Why did they do that? Isn't money to their stockholders, isn't that worth something? I don't know. But they're always fighting. They're always fighting against that. They want it. They just want the regulation. I don't know what they want. I don't know, man. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, going down the news report here. Massachusetts becomes first state to ban bump stocks after a Las Vegas massacre. You notice how that kind of dropped out of the news? Did Las Vegas even happen? I don't even know. I mean, it's kind of like the New York massacre with the guy mowing down bicyclers, man. That's kind of dropped out of the news. They always drop the stuff out of the news. I heard the governor say it was the next day or 2 days later after the Islamic terrorists mowed down and killed a bunch of Americans because he was brought in by the Democrats under the lottery. He brought in by the Democrats and, George Bush too. I mean, he's a Democrat. So there you go. I don't even know what I'm saying. Oh, is the Vegas shooting just out of the news Wait a minute. We got some questions, man. Where's the guy's wife? Who got all the money? I mean, what about Jehu's Campos or whatever that guy's name? Who's explaining why he got shot in the leg and then he takes a 2-week vacation in Mexico? We got a few more questions here. Okay. Oh, it's kind of trickling out that he was distraught because he lost money. Okay. Okay. That's it. Okay. Well, I believe you on that one. I believe you on that one. Let's see. What else we got here? Tucker. CNN's Jim Acosta is a fraud, hard news journalist. You know what? I'm sick of Jim Acosta. I don't know who this guy is, but he's a freak. Just see, a lot of people, you can just sum them up. They're just a freak. Judge made bad call on bird dog. There's a news flash. All right, what else we got here? I told you I'm on the Yahoo news feed. President Trump commits another impeachable offense. Okay, Yahoo. Bunch of bastards over there. All righty, what else we got here? By the way, Jeff Sessions, how can we count on that guy? Why is he only allowed investigations on Republicans? Whose side he on? Why we're talking about fairness here, but no. Oh, he's a mad dog, Jeff Sessions. Here he goes. Hi, I'm going to investigate. I'm going to investigate you in my office. We're going to investigate you. Who put that guy in charge? That's all I'm asking. Who put that guy in charge? Hi. I mean, doesn't he sound like Joe Olstein a little bit? Jeez. Oh yeah, he's going to go hard at it. Hi. Oh, we going to get you. Jeez. Oh man. Yeah. Okay, you go get it. You go get him, little Jeffy. Little Jeffy, you go get him, okay? All right, you go get him. All right, what else we got here? How Democrats' political extremism empowers President Trump. Well, there you go. Well, that was from the Federalist right there. What else we got here? Chain migration, man. Yeah, we need to stop chain migration. That's what happened to the killer that they imported under the, what is his name, Muhammad Moliki Madoko or whatever his name is, the killer in New York. I mean, like I said earlier in the Rainy Points, how is it this guy got to rent a truck, a rental truck? Okay, see, he couldn't really say what country he's from. He wasn't an American citizen. But no, that guy had chain migration. He had his auntie coming up in here. He had his distant cousin Malik. You know, he come in here. His distant cousin Muhammad the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. I don't know that. You know, I mean, hey, everybody, come on in. Come on in. The America's waiting for you. Give you big checks and whatnot. By the way, Donna Brazier, she did consider replacing Clinton with Joe Biden. Y'all know that? But they wouldn't let her do it. They wouldn't let her do it. Well, I tell you what, there you go. What else we got here in the news feed here? Well, I'll tell you what, I've done enough of that. Let me go here to my Facebook here. I'm going to check my Facebook feed. A lot of good news coming through this thing here. Maybe I could check to see when the next date is for the apocalypse, because it's coming. I mean, it's still coming. It was supposed to be today with a power out situation, but as many on the internet have said, again, a fizzle. And it didn't work. So let's go ahead. Wait a minute. Maybe I can put this on screen here. Let me put this on screen here. Somehow I can do it. Let's see. Get my live. I'm going to steal my live chat. I'm going to steal that. And, wait a minute. Where am I at here? Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm going to steal. How do I do that? Oh, I forgot how to do that. All right. Let me go stick it over here. There it is. Okay. All right. I'm putting my Facebook feed on there. See what we got. All right. Let's go down here. See what we got. Should illegal aliens be right to vote? Has anybody seen these kinds of things? I really, no. You know, I put a Facebook feed, a note up there where it said, you know how you get those things come to your Facebook? It says, hey, if you agree with this, say amen. And so I wrote one in my Facebook feed, and I said, hey, if you're sick of people putting say amen, then in the Facebook feed, then say amen. Okay, what else have we got here? Going down the Facebook feed here, what we got? I bet my Facebook peeps didn't know they were going to be on a live television show here. There's Derek Gilbert. What's it, Derek? What do you say, man? Saudis oh, here you go. See, right here. Derek Gilbert says, Saudis intercept ballistic missile over capital Riyadh, or Balabaliki, or I don't even know. So who's shooting missiles over Saudis, man? Was it Yemen? I bet if you trace the missile technology from Yemen, you're probably going to find the Democrats that sold it to them for a campaign contribution. Okay, so here we have, looks like a deer jumping. Wow. He's jumping way up in there. Okay, all right, deer jumping. Okay, good job there. Not sure why that's a thing, but I mean, deers do jump. All right, going down the Facebook feed here. What else we got? Ancient City coming up in my Facebook feed. Shift your paradigm, what it says there. All right, here's people's kids. Okay, it's Doug Woolward's something, maybe grandkid or something. What else we got here? Oh, here it is right here. This I said something about this earlier. Here it is. All right, who put this in here? Breaking. Antifa super soldiers have arrived. Have you seen these guys? Have you seen these guys when they come out of their safe spaces and they're playing with Play-Doh and little toys and stuff? Super soldier? Are you kidding me? Okay. Now here's somebody saying something. What does it say? If there's ever a civil war between conservatives and liberals, I'm not worried. Okay, I got you on that one there. Ooh, that's disgusting. There's your liberals right there. That's the nation that Hillary Clinton wants us to become. Oh, speaking of her. Well, this is a good one. Okay, this is funny here. Can I get this? Let me try to get a little better picture here for you. Oh yeah, look at here. Let me jump out of here. This is a good one right here. Donna, I just want to talk. Okay, that's a good one right there. Yes, yeah. Just wants to talk, huh? Uh-oh. Now, did somebody just take my picture? Oh, here you go. Ew. What does it say? Disgusting finger-pointing idiot. Look at this guy's face, okay? Look at these teeth here. Now, come on with that. What kind of disease, foul-mouthed look and freak we got? He's president. Oh, okay. We don't say nothing bad about previous presidents. Well, he's certainly saying something bad about the current president. Of course, I have to watch my Facebook. No, I am going to put my ranting points in my Facebook. So if you want to see that again, you got to follow me on Facebook there. But man, you look at his face here, and now you know what's wrong with America. Okay, now you know what's wrong with it with faces like that. Okay, he won ugly motherfucker. All right, what we got here? Ford makes stunning. Now this is okay. Look here. Ford makes stunning announcement by NFL. Now, this is another thing about Facebook. For those of you, would you agree with me that this is what we would call clickbait? Okay? You can click on that and you're not going to find anything stunning. You're liable to get an ad, and people do this all the time. And like stunning, better click on it before it disappears. How many have seen that in their Facebook feed? I'm sick of that. So I just keep on going. That's what you call clickbait. Oh boy. Now, we got two people here. You got a freak on the left, and you got Trump on the right. Now, George Bush, this is George H.W. Bush's sonny. He won, and he is the smart one, okay? Where was he during JFK's assassination, okay? Where was he? That's what I want to know. Okay, what have we got here? List of predictions of something. Don't care about that. Going on down. Not sure why. I'm not going to click on that. We'll see what else we got here. Uh-oh. This looks like more clickbait here. Okay, here's Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton pedophile sex tape. That's what you call clickbait right there, okay? That's clickbait. Not going to click on it. Not going that. Not going that. Of course, we all saw this here. Full page ad in the New York Times. Trump Pence must go. November 4th, it begins. Well, here's the deal. Nothing began. They're a bunch of freaks, and we're not going to refuse fascism. We're going to embrace it, okay? Antifa, we're going to embrace fascism, okay? You like that? Do you like that, Mr. Antifa man? You bunch of sissy boys. Uh-oh, what's this here? Oh, old Pope. Oh, he looking to kiss. Oh yeah. Who's that? Who's that guy? I forgot his name. And I'm gonna have to click on it. Find it. He's a televangelist. Who is this guy here? Now I gotta know his name. Hang on for a second. Kenneth Copeland. Okay. Can I go back here? Oops. Okay, Kenneth Copeland. He gonna kiss the Pope. Okay. He dumb. Ain't nobody like him. He's the guy that wanted it feels like he got to have $1 billion airplane, okay, and he going to use people's donations to get it. Okay, so once you two guys go get a room, okay, just get out of my face. Microchip implant looks like clickbait right there. Always getting these ads for Phil in the Woods. Anybody seen that show? Because I don't even know if it's any good. JFK files. There's some bad stuff coming about Martin Luther King, but we won't discuss it on this program. Oh, do I got to look at his face again? Look at the, ooh, here it comes, people. Sorry, I got to warn you. Look at, he one sick looking dude right there. Oh, is he ugly? No, I mean, it reminds me of Stephen King's It, man, with the teeth and everything, with the gnarly teeth. Okay, here we go. Human meat found in McDonald's meat factory. Okay. All right, there's clickbait for you. Not gonna do it. Going on down. Oh, that's about it right there. Let me get this thing out of here. Okay, so that was my Facebook feed. I could come back in the picture somewhere. I don't even know where I'm at here. Got too many windows open here. Click over here. Click over there. Forgot where I'm at. Let me get back to the show. Oh, here I am. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to wrap this up a little early. Next week, we're going to have with us, if they're on the Skype line and they're at home, I guess, or wherever there you go, Russ Dizdar, talking about the Black Awakening. That is talk about super soldiers, but I don't think they're the Antifa type. They might be the demonic type. And we'll talk about it next week with Russ Dizdar. 2 weeks. Jonathan Gray will be talking about ancient archaeology. And then we're going to have with us John Kachuba talking about shape shifters. And man, there's a lot of them out there. A lot of shape shifting going on. All right. Well, let's end this program here. Thank you everyone for staying tuned, even though we didn't have a guest. Hopefully you enjoyed it anyway. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll put this program up in our YouTube channel as well, and we'll podcast it and our TuneIn Radio playlist. Daniel Ott for The Edge. Bye-bye.